portion of this video is brought to you by Ground News. For more information about Ground News, visit the link in the description or wait till the end of this video to hear more from me. This story has a whole bunch that you're going to need to stick around for. Not only are we learning that Elon Musk secured a $400 million contract with the Department of State to provide those goofy, angular, trash can looking Cybertrucks to the State Department. $400 million. $500 million nearly. But also, his name and the evidence of the contracts all of a sudden disappeared mysteriously. Mr. Transparent Doge guy. All of a sudden, the government, Donald Trump's government, our government, is now keeping secrets about the money that they're giving to the world's richest man, who is entrenched in all kinds of ethics problems and conflicts of interest. This being just one more. The guy whose duty is, his job description is to root out inefficiency and wasteful spending, fraud, waste, and abuse in the government, is raking in hundreds of millions of dollars from that same federal government that he's tasked with bringing down cost. Gross. Here's the headline from the New York Times. Then we're going to get to a Bloomberg headline that really breaks this thing wide open. New York Times, State Department plans $400 million purchase of armored Tesla Cybertrucks. The department plans to buy armored Tesla vehicles. Elon Musk, who is leading efforts to cut government spending. Can we stop with the acceptance of whatever narrative Donald Trump and Elon Musk give us about what his goal is? He's not leading the effort to cut government spending. New York Times. That is objectively not what's taking place. Do your job. All right, back to the headline. Elon, who is leading efforts to cut government spending, has won more than $13 billion in government contracts in the past 5 years. $13 billion, for those of you who aren't fond of the maths, is $1,300 million. $1,300 million is $13 billion. And he's going to add another $400 million to that. Tesla, whose chief executive, Elon Musk, has been advising President Trump on how to cut government spending, is likely to receive a lucrative contract to supply armored versions of his Cybertruck pickup to the State Department, according to public documents. The department's procurement forecast for 2025, which details purchases the agency expects to make, includes $400 million for armored Tesla vehicles. The document does not specify which Tesla model, but the electric Cybertruck, which has a body of high-strength stainless steel, would be the most suitable vehicle. Are you doing a commercial for fucking Tesla, New York Times? Have you seen the Cybertruck? Have you seen the videos of it getting stuck in a half-inch of snow and running itself into walls? What are you doing here? Mr. Musk spent more than $250 million to help elect Mr. Trump, who then appointed him as the leader of a cost-cutting initiative that's been called the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGGY, I guess. The purchase of Cybertrucks, an atypical choice for government armored transport, is likely to raise conflict of these fucking people. It's likely to raise conflict of interest issues. Is it? Do you think? Is it likely to do that, New York Times? I need to start including the journalists who write this copy, because this is just sycophantic butt licking on the part of the New York Times. Even if they're having a critical eye on the money here, it's just peppered with a bunch of other nonsense. Ugh. The purchase of Cyber, atypical choice, as Mr. Musk trumpets his own efforts to root out what he regards as unnecessary spending. You see, that's how you do it. I didn't mean this to be an analysis or a critique on journalism, but come on. Especially as Mr. Musk trumpets his own efforts to root out what he regards as unnecessary spending. That's how it's done. On Twitter, the social media site he owns, Mr. Musk has portrayed the federal government as replete with waste and corruption. On Wednesday, he posted about what he said were extravagantly overpriced coffee cups and soap dispensers at the Pentagon. Tesla and the State Department did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Really shocking. Who knew that they would not want to talk about the corruption that's being rooted out or exposed, not rooted out. So enter Bloomberg with this reporting that this contract for $400 million, it's still in the works, but it disappeared from websites, so it's not readily available for journalists and others to witness the backhanding, self-dealing corruption of Donald Trump and Elon Musk as they loot the Treasury for money. Here's the headline from Bloomberg. Plans to buy armored Teslas vanish from State Department procurement list. The State Department's procurement forecast removed the mention of Elon Musk's Tesla Inc. in relation to a planned $400 million armored EV purchase after reports emerged about it on Wednesday. The December version of the document had included an armored Tesla budget item that would span 5 years and start in 2025. However, the document was revised to remove Tesla's name. This followed reports of the company's moniker on the procurement document from DropSite News and the New York Times. Musk's unprecedented role in U.S. President Donald Trump's administration as overseer of government spending has raised recurring questions about how he might police himself when one of his companies competes for official contracts. He has argued that all activities by his DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, would be handled with transparency. The only thing that's transparent is that he's not transparent. We see you, Elon Musk. Final paragraph here. Tesla's name had appeared in a document near that of BMW AG, whose armored X5 and X7 SUVs the State Department is also planning to buy. The German company's name remains on the list while Tesla's has been excised, leaving the $400 million contract still at the planning stage, now listed for a generic designation of armored electric vehicles. So I guess I would say this. If there's nothing wrong with what they've done here, if this is all on the up and up, and if it's totally transparent, why the need to amend it? Why the need to hide the eventual destination of the $400 million in U.S. Treasury money, in our money, we the people? Why cover it up? Why hide it? Why excise the name from the document? If it's all on the up and up, yeah, of course we're going to do that. It's a quality vehicle. It's not, but that's what they'd say. Instead, they're hiding from it because they're liars, they're grifters. They are looting the Treasury. Donald Trump and his billionaire oligarch dipshits are going to make larger piles from their already enormous piles of money. What do you think? If you own a Tesla, sell your Tesla. Do not buy a Tesla. It's the only way to hit at the heart, to strike at the heart of Elon Musk financially. Comment below. I welcome you to this conversation. You can call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Follow me on the social media, wherever it is. Not on Elon's. Don't go there. @Dollemore. I'd love to see you there. And I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine and take care of one another. You hear me regularly talking about Trump's playbook to consolidate power. But his appointment of Kari Lake to lead Voice of America takes his attacks to a uniquely disturbing level. Lake, like Trump, has made a career of attacking journalists and denying facts. She will now be in charge of an independent network whose purpose is to provide unbiased reporting. If you search this story on Ground News, it's laid out for you. Hundreds of articles clearly organized by perspective, and nearly all of them flagging serious concerns about the editorial independence of Voice of America. And yet, the America First crowd continues to call this appointment fair. The rest of us should call it what it is, though: propaganda. Trump knows that controlling the narrative is the first step to controlling the populace. Don't take my word for it, though. Go see for yourself. I use Ground News to help me critically analyze the news, and you should too. When algorithms decide the news you see, it's easy to feel powerless and uninformed. Let Ground News help you get a more complete view of the story. They are the only platform not trying to tell you what to think. For a limited time, you can get the same Vantage plan I use for nearly half the cost. Go to ground.news/Dollemore or scan my QR code to get their top tier Vantage plan for 50% off, which comes down to just about $4 per month. Ground News is completely independent, nonpartisan, and they are not manipulating algorithms. They also don't show ads on their platform for clickbait. Instead, they organize every story by perspective, highlighting the outlet's bias and credibility, as well as their financial backers, so you know exactly who is controlling the narrative that they're spinning. You can filter out extremist outlets to focus on reliable reporting that actually matters. Think of the time you can save when sifting through biased coverage and misinformation. You might even find a new and highly credible outlet that could use your support. So your Ground News subscription would also protect independent media voices that are daily under attack. We're watching institutions that keep our democracy transparent and accountable crumble right before our eyes. That's why I trust Ground News to make sure the truth never gets buried. You should too.